This team has not had elite talent since the 2016 draft. You look at the players that came out of that draft with Ramsey, Jack, and Ngakoue coming out of that. Ultimately, Aiden Hutchinson, like I talked about in my first video, which if you haven't seen already, I'm going to link somewhere on the screen here. But be sure to watch round 1 before watching this one, or maybe just catch up on it afterwards after you finish this one. Their second biggest hole on this roster, either has to be linebacker or it has to be interior of the offensive line. And in my opinion, there will be a lot of quality talent within this group, whether it be, Zion Johnson and that grouping of offensive linemen, or you look at, Chad Muma and Quay Walker going into the top of the second round with the linebacking group. But I'm going to start with the offensive line. Dare I say Tyler Linderbaum? Obviously, he's the best center in this class by far. And he's one of the top linemen in the entire draft class. Unfortunately, he just plays the less premier position. How good was Ryan Kelly in his draft class? Obviously, he was a first-round talent going to the Colts, and he's been a good starting center for the Colts throughout his career there. Does Linderbaum have that capability to be that as well? If he does, he's the pick. Easy selection there. But if he's not, which, most people are saying he won't be, Zion Johnson, the guard out of Boston College, absolutely has to be my 1B for the interior of the offensive line. He is someone that has played all over this offensive line and for Boston College, but in all reality, his bread and butter is absolutely on the interior. Pro Football Network has him as the second-ranked interior offensive line board on their consensus big board. I love that, and the fact that he has these massive 34-inch arms, it's going to play huge dividends for him on the interior, especially if he's playing pass pro. Not only does he have the ability to be just a run-blocking menace, pulling or just going straight ahead, he can also be an incredible anchor for anyone that is trying to use him as a pass protecting interior offensive lineman. I love Zion Johnson. I think he'd be an incredible addition to this team. Now, Kenyon Green, he is someone that I've tossed around a little bit in my head because he played four out of the 5 positions on the offensive line in 2021. The only one he didn't play was center. Now, in part, this had to do with the fact that A&M, in College Station, they were wrecked with offensive line injuries. This stat stood out to me, and it's an insane stat. During weeks 3 through 7, they did not have the same 5 people playing the same 5 positions at all. So week 1, week 2, sure, there was some similarity. Week 3 to 7 was a total crapshoot, and you just throw stuff against the wall, and whatever you hit, that's what you go out there with. I can only imagine how chaotic that was for the offensive coordinator and then the starting lineman. But hey, he played very well throughout his time and at A&M. And, I really love this quote right here, too. This is from NFL.com. They were speaking with a scout from an AFC South team. Just an AFC team. His guard tape is first round for me, end quote. I love that. And, if you're looking at someone that could be there at 33, I would love Kenyon Green to become a Jaguar there. Now, let's move on to the linebackers. There's a Tyler Linderbaum in this linebacker class as well. Is he going to make it to 33? Is he going to make it to that 25 range where he might even move up? David Ojabo. Man, he could be the darling that falls. In previous years, there's always been one. And whoever, at the end of that first round is going, ooh, that guy's there. We really don't need him. But if he's there, you have to consider him, right? He would have been a mid first round talent if it hadn't been for his Achilles injury that happened during his pro day building up to the draft, which so unfortunately happened because he did have 11 sacks. I believe it's only 2 or 3 less than Aiden Hutchinson in 2021. Now, let's get on to these real linebackers. Quay Walker. Quay Walker is somebody that I absolutely do think that he has the capability to be a 3-down linebacker in this league. And when you think the joining of Foye Oluokun, who had almost 200 tackles last year, with someone like Quay Walker, who has that kind of Miles Jack capability where he's at his best when you allow him to just fly around the field, make plays, and do what he does best, and that is just be a freak athlete. Obviously, he's one of those great Georgia front 7 players that's coming out of this draft. You look at Jordan Davis, Trayvon Walker, Quay Walker. There's a bunch of talent in that Georgia front 7, and he was absolutely a reason that defense was so feared in 2021. And over 900 pass snaps in his final 2 years at Georgia, he only had 6 missed tackles. He's a very sure tackler. He's a very aggressive tackler, and he's an absolute menace when it comes to coverage as well. You think about linebackers that play very well close to the line of scrimmage, but really struggle getting away from it, or vice versa. He does both very well. PFF has him with a pass breakup against Treylon Burks, who is going to be one of the top wide receivers taken in this year's draft class. And he can also be a menace, rushing the quarterback, getting after that backfield, and then also just preventing passes from happening and being that good pass protecting linebacker that you look for. Chad Muma. He's a true Mike linebacker at the next level. I'm going to get to somebody else that I do believe has a better opportunity to be a Mike linebacker, but absolutely, I do think the Jaguars could look Muma's way. When you look at someone his size, 6'3", 239, that is a big man moving, and when he moves very effortlessly and very smoothly. The only downside is for me is that I've seen a lot of people saying online through various sites, PFF, Draft Network, saying all he really does is he plays very high up on his pads, and for what that boiling that down to its bare bones, what does that mean? It means Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor are going to take this guy for a ride in his rookie year if they get a hold of him, and if Mike Caldwell can't really get that out of him, where he just plays so high, because Derrick Henry is just a freak of nature and will take any poor rookie linebacker he can for a ride on his way to the end zone. So if the intangibles are there, and if Mike Caldwell can get that out of him, to just play a little bit lower whenever he comes in for tackles, and they can get him to his full potential, awesome. But you do have that hint of fear because he did not play a single Power 5 team in 2021. You wonder if that skill gap's going to be there because he did play in Wyoming. What is it going to look like for Muma going into year one in the NFL rather than just playing, subpar talent like he did at Wyoming compared to, the rest of the guys playing in the Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, things like that. Now, Leo Chenal, someone that absolutely brings the boom whenever you think about a linebacker coming downhill. When he makes contact with linemen go one direction. That is straight backwards. Leo Chenal is just a monster when you think about coming downhill and harassing running backs and everything in his way. If Muma moves quickly, Chenal moves at light speed, considering his size. He's bigger than Muma, and in my opinion, I think he moves faster than Muma. Chenal is 6'3", 250. He is your prototypical Mike linebacker. You think about the glory days when they had Paul Posluszny playing that Mike position. What do you think about? You think about a thumping middle linebacker that can wear the green dot, get players into the correct positions. Obviously Aluakin has played with the green dot, but he's better at his position, at the weak side. So if you do really like and covet a middle linebacker at 33, Leo Chenal has to be the option you look at. PFF, Pro Football Focus, has the comp for Chenal as Bart Scott. Woo! I would love to see that. You think about the great Ravens front sevens. You think about Ray Lewis. You think about Bart Scott. You absolutely think about players like that. You think about linebacker tandems like that just absolutely strike fear into the heart of opposing offenses. Now, if I was the Jaguars and I needed a lineman at 33, I'm absolutely looking at Zion Johnson immediately. And if he's not there, immediately going to Kenyon Green. There's no doubt in my mind that is where they look. And I would love to see either of them become Jaguars, as I think they can absolutely help the interior of the offensive line. Now, if they wanted to go linebacker, Leo Chenal is my pick. Playing Chenal next to Aluakin would be an insane starting linebacker duo and could quickly become one of the best, if not the best, linebacker pairings in the entire National Football League. If I'm making the pick, I'm turning in a ticket that has the bad man from Wisconsin, Leo Chenal. I love him, and they would be continuing to bolster the defense, which is something I really didn't think that the Jaguars would be looking to do in February. But if I'm Mike Caldwell, the defensive corner, I'm jumping up and down. I'm over the moon because now I have a freak of nature pass rusher in Aiden Hutchinson, and now I also have an incredible Mike linebacker prospect in Leo Chenal. But obviously, the Jaguars are going to have to look at potentially going offense, because at this point, you have not helped Trevor Lawrence at all. If you've gone defense 1 and 33, you have to look at 65 and even potentially 70 also being for the offensive side of the ball. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please go back and watch my first round video. It's an incredible video just like this one was. Be sure to subscribe, like the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and go Jaguars.
How about them Jags?
Come on, Joe! Ah! Thank you, baby! Thank you! You make it blood come from my damn mouth!